on. Well, hey everyone, Liz here, and I'm here from CHWE, and we wanted to interview a dowsing group that I have been part of for a year and a half. And so we're waiting on one person, but we're here with, I see Kathleen, Marianne, Tony, and Nikki are here, and we're waiting on another person. And it has been such a delight to work with this group because we get to douse the world. So I'm going to hand it to Tony right now. I consider her our commander because she gathered us all together. So Tony, would you give us a brief bio on yourself and how you started this group, like how that all happened?
Okay, well, hello everyone. Basically, I'm British, but I live in Italy. I've been living in Italy for 27 years. Before I came to live in Italy, I trained as a spiritual healer. And I also started using Australian bushflower remedies. So those were my two main healing modalities. Over time, I've learned EFT, matrix energetics, theta healing, etc. But I don't tend to use any one thing. I sort of mix them around. During this period, I was introduced to the work of Raymond Grace, who is what I consider to be a master dowser and also a master teacher. And I had somebody gifted me his disc about how to do dowsing and his philosophies and everything. And I bought the book. And from that, I just started doing dowsing. And then I did a course on shamanism. And I didn't become a shaman, but with shaman. And they were teaching complete beginners how to do dowsing, simple dowsing. And they also showed us a technique for tuning in to see, whether it's you that's doing it or whether it's a divine connection. So that was a good thing because some people aren't always sure whether the answer they get, is them or the real answer. So that was a good thing from my point of view. Anyway, I used to go onto the care chat and see some people were in trouble. People would be saying about terrible circumstances or problems in the family, healing needed and all that kind of thing. And occasionally I would contact people privately and sort of say, look, I'm a healer. Do you want some help? And all this kind of thing. And then one day I saw that several other people had said, oh, I do dowsing, I do this. And I thought, oh, it would be a nice idea to gather up the dowsers in the group. At the time, I think there were about 6,000 people in that care group. And so I put a post in saying, I'm a dowser. If anybody else would like to form a group online, please get in touch with me. And Elva, who we're waiting for, has been a friend of mine for about the last 30 years since I was training to be a healer. And so I invited her. She's in England. And then Liz responded very quickly from America, and Nikki from Australia, and a couple of other people who now have sort of fallen by the wayside, one because of family problems and the other because she was very busy doing lots of other healing work and it didn't always fit in with her timetable and her things that she needed to do. So there were the four of us. And then when I met Kathleen and got to know her, I invited her to join the group. And then she asked if Marianne could join. So now we're 6. And basically, we work together once a week online. And people propose what we should do, what we should work on that particular week. Sometimes I see something in the care chat or on the news or something like that, and I think, oh, we definitely need to do something about that. And so that's really how it all started, really. And as you know, Liz, every week we've been meeting ever since.
That's really great. Would you like to pick someone else to give a brief bio?
Well, Nikki, are you there? Would you like to say something?
Absolutely, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming to listen to us again. But yes, exactly like Tony said, Tony put out the message on the UNN chat, and I've been doing dowsing for a long time, since I was very young. It's a part of many healing practices, as we all know. I am a medium oracle and shamanic healer, and I use crystal healing therapy and quantum healing therapy to move energies around for healing. Have been doing a lot of land clearing. I used to work for corporations, helping them move energies around to help them, sometimes money situations to be moved around as well. So using dowsing was just a process of energy work until Tony introduced me to Raymond Grace. Still is a process of energy work, but his techniques and his inner standing of intention and moving energy to clear and help and heal things were so profound and powerful. Yeah, I had to give it a go with Tony and the group of beautiful goddesses that we now gather on a regular basis. Anything else you wanted me to mention? You've got on mute, Tony. We've been doing a lot of healings, balancing out land and weather, but a lot on the collective consciousness as well to help support restoration. Tony, your mic is on mute.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's fine for the moment. Let's introduce the others, and then maybe Liz or other people can, ask us particular questions, interview questions, and maybe Kelly or Anna will be here, by which time I'm sure they'll have plenty of things to ask us. Let's, as Elva isn't here yet, she's still having problems with that link, Liz. She says it's still a Telegram link. Kathleen, would you like to tell us about yourself and about how you came to be in the group and everything?
Sure. I'm trying to remember who introduced me to Raymond Grace. I have always been fascinated with the concept of dowsing, and I have read several books on different types of that, ley lines, earth energies, that kind of thing. I've been for 40 years seeking spiritual, greater, I hesitate to say knowledge now, because now we understand that it's wisdom that we're really after. So I guess greater wisdom, is what I'm after now. But I had been looking for knowledge, reading a lot of books, taking different trainings and things. And I took Reiki training to the 2nd level. And I'm trying to think, there's just been so much. When I trained with Dolores Cannon for the quantum hypnosis healing therapy, and that was fascinating. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that, because as we were just mentioning, I think it was Liz who was saying, we don't know how much longer Raymond Grace is going to be doing this. I've been the opportunity to actually go to one of his classes. I mean, it will be a chance of a lifetime, because people are going to say in the future, like, oh, you were so lucky you got the opportunity to meet the man himself, who is just, like Tony says, he's the master. I don't know anybody who is more masterful at doing things. And part of it is his openness to say, hey, this has never been done before, but you never know until you try it. And I think that's a wonderful attitude, always staying open, because you accomplish, you can never accomplish what you never try. So you lose out on 100% of things you don't try. So even if you are able to help people in some way, and I've been amazed at what we've been able to accomplish. And one of the things with a group is that we support each other and we acknowledge each other. And there is power in that. Not to say that one person couldn't do amazing things like Raymond Grace certainly does. But when you have a group of people who are focused in their intent on an outcome, and it's for the benefit of humanity, and you're doing it selflessly and full of love, then amazing things can be accomplished. for the world, and not, and we do a lot of things for people, for their dogs, for, you know, their aches and pains, for their relationships, you know. But we also look at the things that are affecting our world today. And just recently, this morning or earlier today, a friend of ours that a lot of us know is down in the Gulf of Mexico with her feet in the Gulf of Mexico, you know, dowsing on cleaning up that water. Now, you know, when you think of the coast of the Gulf of Mexico and Texas, it's not like the coast of Florida. It's not nearly so clean. In fact, they call that area by Houston the toxic coast. You know, there's so many oil refineries and oil tankers, and, you know, the whole oil industry coming out of the port of Houston there. So, you know, it's pretty bad. But she went in, and she was doing it the other day, and she actually felt the water warming around her feet when she was doing this. And it wasn't just her. There was a young cousin of hers that was there, a 14-year-old boy, and he just looked at her and goes, "Did you feel that?" Because he didn't know what she was doing, and she's not going to explain it to him. But, you know, he felt the warmth of the water suddenly come in, and she's just amazing. She's visualizing this water to be purified and to touch all the water and purify the water. That is not to say that people are still going to be not dumping in it, and that's another issue, because when you clean something up, unless people stop doing it, you know, it's going to be a continual problem. But at least, you know, it gives it a fighting chance, because it took a long time to get that way, you know. So if you can clean it up, it'll take a long time to get as bad as it was again. And hopefully in the future, people will learn to, you know, do better as far as caring for our environment and caring about our environment, you know, and not polluting the waters for the fish and the other creatures that live in it. And so, you know, things like that. And she visualizes that water touching, going through the Panama Canal, and even touching the Pacific Ocean. And that was one of Raymond's goals in life, is to purify the water of the world. So I've heard that extraterrestrials could come in here and clean that up within 24 hours. But we're not waiting around for them. And we don't know when that's going to happen. And so, since they're not supposed to interfere with us, I guess, we've got to learn to do a lot of this ourselves. And we can. And groups like ours, you know, we're in no way the only people that can form groups and do world changing dowsing. Anybody who has the heart to do this can form groups and do it. And the advantage of forming a group is that you're sharing that experience with other people, and you're acknowledging that what's happening, and you know, it just gives it more power. It does. So I'm very happy to be part of this group, and extremely grateful of some of the things that they've done for my family. And yeah, so.
Oh, Kelly's joining us now, one of the admins. Yeah. Tony, who's next? Thank you so much, Kathleen.
I think I'm next. I'm Mary Ann, and I'm part of the Michigan Restoration Co-Creators. Yeah, the Zoom has me a little messed up, but anyway, really my name is Mary Ann. So Kathleen over here next to me first introduced me to dowsing when she called one day and asked if she could take a look at my son who's in prison. And then she called me back and said she saw a demon. I'm just like, oh, wow, whoa. And then she began to teach me a little bit about dowsing, and then she connected me with Raymond Grace, and I was on my way. So of course I was watching Raymond Grace. I was watching his videos on YouTube. I was just, you know, doing what a lot of you do, what a lot of us have done, just cruising and seeing what he's already put out there. And I began to do dowsing. And one day I was actually on the Michigan Restoration Group. Oh, somebody changed my name. How'd you do that? Very good.
Magic technician over here.
Good, awesome. So, and there was an individual in our group, and she was having a really hard time, and she was crying. She was in a lot of pain, and she hadn't been able to get any sleep due to her circumstances. And I just felt like this push, like I was supposed to douse for her and heal her pain. And as I'm dowsing and I'm getting in the zone, all of a sudden I was in front of her, like I could reach out and touch her shoulder. And that kind of like, whoa, what was that? Hasn't happened since. Maybe I haven't allowed that to happen. But at that point, I went, I need to learn more about this. So I'm really grateful. I'm privileged to have been able to get into one of Raymond Grace's workshops. So last September, I went to one of his workshops. And, I still didn't know, we don't understand how much power we really have. And this was a lesson learned for me. So I'm at his workshop and I'm asking him, he's looking at a university. I asked him if he'd look at my son's university or prison and clear the prison, because he talks a lot about clearing where he sees the spooks. He calls them spooks, the demons and the negative entities and astral attachments. He just calls them all spooks. And, and he finds them in hospitals and hotels and airports and places like that, and prisons, of course. So I asked him if he'd look at the prison. Well, I had already been clearing the prison. I was already clearing the prison of demons, negative, the spooks, and I asked him to take a look. And let's see if I can show you this. So he's looking at it and he's like, this doesn't look right. And I said, well, I've already been clearing it. Like I didn't know I had that power. I did not know. And I'm just like, with our intent, we have so much power. It's just astonishing. So that was a lesson learned for me, to pay attention to our intent. Where we place our intent is incredible. So then a little bit of time went on, and once again, Kathleen contacted me and invited me to join this group. And I have to say, it's been very powerful. And when we combine our intent all together, things happen. Yep. So that's a little bit about me. The other thing I've begun to do is I've learned how to do quantum biofeedback. I have a device called a SCIO. That's a SCIO. It's an acronym that I don't know what it stands for, but it allows me to do quantum healing, and I often combine my dowsing with it. I help it out. If something's kind of stuck or not moving, I'll pull out my pendulum and let's get this moving along. Let's take down that resistance, or let's remove that astral attachment that doesn't want to leave, or whatever. So, and I'm almost certified. So I've been working on that, and I have a few more hoops to jump through. I'm going to be calling it Frequencies for All. So, and I'm going to be running it actually as a nonprofit. So, because I don't really need income, I'm very blessed that way. So that's me. And with that, I yield.
So I'll jump in, Tony, because Elva's joining us. She should be here soon. And Kelly's here. And so if Elva's here, she can go, or I can go. Is Elva connected yet?
Is she coming in?
Yes, I just invited her. She's coming in.
Oh, good.
Now
Well,
she's
otherwise-
Elva, are you there? I'm going to ask her to unmute. Elva, are you there? Anyway, she might just, it doesn't say joining with audio. So looks like she should be here. She's here.
Okay, she may just, I can see her. I can see her thing. Yeah, Elva, do you want to speak, or should Liz go first? Okay, Liz.
Maybe just give her a few minutes. You go.
Yeah,
Lizzie.
Liz, you go, because maybe she's just getting it so she can get her a camera set.
Absolutely. You know, I love to talk. So here to practice, not to talk. Anyway, so like everyone else here was saying, I have also collected many energy healing modalities my entire life. I've been doing it for 40 years. I've been kicking around on the planet a while. And I worked as a solitary, Reiki master, emotion code, EFT, like everything mentioned here, shamanic training as a shamanic practitioner, all the things that we can pick up. And one of the most valuable things I've ever done is shamanic training with the Kero shaman in Peru, and then also learning to douse. I also took a class with Raymond Grace. He did a week long in 2014. So I really was full soup to nuts. In fact, I just found today his 5.56 round that I bought from him. He sells bullet pendulums. He's a rascal. He carries a 45 on his hip. He's from Western Virginia, and he carries lots of big bills in his billfold. But anyway, so I got to train with him, and he helped me a lot. I've also been in the military, so I was a chaplain in the Army working with soldiers. So I began to realize that how the Army was training us to help soldiers heal, feel better, find religion, whatever that means to them, wasn't getting it. Like, I needed to help them make good decisions and help them keep their families and come home to their families at the end of their military tours and things like that. So I went and learned coaching techniques and all these things. So I had 4 coaching certifications because I just love some coaching and love helping people. And then I did a long fast when I got back from my last deployment in Kuwait. And after this fast, I just kind of downloaded a way to combine like 4 or 5 healing systems, including some psychological internal family systems, parts work, and also some shamanic techniques to bring do my own healing system that I call quantum rewiring. But anyway, it's all of a piece, really. It's all so similar. It's all the same thing. And as Nikki mentioned early on, I first learned to do the counterclockwise and clockwise spin that we do to heal and change things as we do as a group. I learned that from the shaman in Peru first, before from Raymond Grace. So again, like others here, I've collected lots of things. And I'll tell you, like Kathleen said, that working in a group is hugely powerful as opposed to working in a solitary situation. Like we would say in a witchy sense, I was a solitary. But I'm here to tell you, like others have said, it takes confidence and just trying it, figuring it out, and just doing it. Like I know the group knows that I'm just the one. I call myself I just get in there. Who is that?
Silver.
Someone is sandpapering. But so you can just try. You can just try to douse. Hey, Elf.
At last.
I'm gonna put you on in a minute, dear. Yes. So we just try. We don't think, oh yeah, can we douse to clean the world's water? Can we clean up chemtrails? Can we help puppy dogs and doggy horses and our children heal? We just get in there and do it. So it's just, and we invite you to start your own groups as well. Just if you guys feel confident in whatever healing systems you use, or whether it's dowsing. So I'll stop there, but I agree with everyone and everything said here. So Eld, I'll pass it to you now, dear, if you want to share kind of a brief bio on yourself and kind of healing modalities you do, things like that.
Yeah, my name's Elva. I'm from England, and I'm a healer. I do healing as well, and I like the dowsing group. I like our group because it allows us to touch a lot of people worldwide by having this group, and it also, helped so many people, like I say, in different areas. I used to use the pendulum also for healing, like spinning and finding out what part of the body might need healing as well. As I said, we've had a lot of success as well within the group, and personally myself as well. So it's good. I used to work in a spiritual shop, and that's where I started my knowledge. I've been a spiritualist for a long time, but learning all different other kinds of things, I was gravitated to the pendulum because I could see the benefits of using the pendulum. So it was, it's been great. Yeah. So, I hope you'll find your own personal ways as well for using the pendulum. Yeah. That's it, really.
No, it's good. So I just wanted to ask the group, you guys can all just popcorn answer. What types of things, what categories do we tend to douse in? You all just jump in.
We do everything from land to animals to healing people, the collective consciousness. So anything that sort of comes into alignment with restoration of us moving in the direction of, you know, our true soul purpose in the light system.
Yeah, we've done ley line clearing. I don't really remember that in the early days.
Yeah.
And also when Kim was in particular dodgy situations. I mean, nowadays she's always in a dodgy situation, but every now and again you'd hear about her being in a particularly dodgy one. And we used to try and, you know, give her extra protection, water, cleaning water. Then we had the, we also do lessons for beginners. I don't know whether they're only beginners that come, but certainly we've had one or two people who've always come. I don't know, Liz, do you know how many people actually have seen the videos
Yeah,
over
you know,
time?
the numbers aren't up anymore, but when I first post it, usually you can see how many views. I would say roughly about 50 views per lesson that we've done. We've done
All
about
right.
6 lessons. I'm guessing, I haven't counted, but
Yeah, yeah. And what happened was we started off with absolute beginners and, you know, what dowsing is. And then we did making your own pendulum and making your own dowsing rods and different applications and that kind of thing, and gradually worked our way up. And then the last one we did our rain dance, and we were working on getting rain for one of the Canary Islands that doesn't have fresh water. And it did rain about 2 days later, I think. And I think I saw that Emma is actually on. Maybe afterwards she can, you know, give us some evidence of that. One of the things that I think is really, really important about this group is that we're getting feedback where, for example, where an individual comes in, they say, oh, my friend's got this, or, you know, a member of my family has got this problem, or whatever it happens to be. We get the feedback on what happened after we did what we did. And one of our best pieces of feedback was from a gentleman who had had an accident many, many years ago and was in intense pain all the time. And in fact, I contacted him because he said on the chat that he was in intense pain. And I contacted him and said, look, you know, would you like us to try and do something for you? And he said, yes, anything, you know, I do anything at this point. And he actually felt his spine realigning as we were doing the dowsing. And we've sort of worked on him again over time because obviously as his spine realigned, his body had been twisted all that time. All his organs and all his other muscles and everything all had to go back into their correct position. So it's not a 1 second job, but he gave us the feedback very, very clearly, which was great because when you're working by yourself, you hope that what you're doing is having an effect, but you don't really know. And I personally believe that with healing, it's really important to have somebody witness it. Now, that doesn't mean to say that the person that gets healed has to witness it. You as a healer can witness it, but it's like you do the job and it actually sets and stays. Whereas if, you know, like you pour a bucket of water over somebody, the water runs off and that's the end of it. But maybe if you, you know, like pour it on them and then it's sort of gradually washing off the dirt and you can see the top half of them is much cleaner than the bottom half, for example, you can see that something has changed. And then it's like, right, that's definitely changed. And it sort of like brings it into reality. From the quantum into like the wave experiment, you know, where they look through the hole and all the rest of it, and the waves changed depending on where your attention went. When your attention goes in that witnessing, that really like puts a seal on the work that you've done. On in my opinion, obviously it's only my opinion, on any healing that you do. And certainly that's sort of been my experience that it definitely helps when you witness it.
Yes, an experience that I had, again, this was with Raymond Grace on one of the last days of the workshop. He calls himself a hermit, by the way. He comes out now and again to do a workshop. But one of the last things he did was he spun. I would do that for everyone here. He spun his pendulum that we would each go home with complete and total confidence. We would all have confidence we would go forth and be successful with our dowsing. And I believe that's just exactly what's happened. So I would douse that for everyone here.
I'm
that
doing
you-
it now.
If you don't already have that, you would be successful from this day going forward. You're going to realize and manifest the power that's within you by the power of your intent. And you're going to be successful with whatever you touch with the dowsing, whether it's healing or cleaning water or removing demons and astral attachments or whatever it is, you will be successful.
Reach it, Marianne. Yeah, I think I agree with what she and Tony also said. It's great to get feedback as a witness, but also the swinging that we do, not just yes or no or using a chart, but the swinging that we do is also a readout personally for us, given what, the result, the energy. And actually, I'll remind all of us too that we're actually creating a vortex of energy. It's, it's a readout, but also creates an energy vortex. So yeah, Mazi, we're going to get to your questions shortly, but thank you for keep your hand raised there, sir. Yeah, so if also I invite us to anyone can popcorn up any ideas, like any other successes that we have had that people want to bring up. I remember Emma, who I believe's here, brought up Trudy, had a woman named Trudy on and helped her. And we got some very nice results with her. So Emma, maybe later you can share that as well. And we've helped each other's pets. We've helped each other's children. Someone, my swing is stopping now, but yeah. Anybody else would like to say something about dowsing? I'm opening it up now.
Well, I'd like to say I've got a friend and her dad had prostate cancer and we doused for him and fingers crossed, everything's okay. It's all good. So to me, that was a good success.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it came back all right. He's okay. And he's, even now he's still doing okay. So,
Right.
Again, that was the efforts of the group.
And we invite
else.
anyone out there. Yeah, if you douse, you can just douse every morning. You can douse for your kitty cat. You can just go for it. Just try it. Have the guts. Try it. Check it out, like Raven Grace says. Really
Clear
great.
the chemtrails.
Yep. I'll point out, Marianne brings this up. A lot of times we do things that we don't get immediate evidence for. We do it anyway, like cleaning the world's water. It's banging on the table. Cleaning the world's water, chemtrails. We don't always see evidence worldwide, but sometimes we see it overhead because we are battling. I mean, there's a lot of energies out there, but the 6 of us are pretty powerful. So if you gather 2 or 3 or 4 in your name, you can actually do some very powerful work. Anything else anyone here, our dowsers, would like to say before I open it up to questions? I've got a Brett and I have.
We even douse for like when we're shopping, to make sure that we're picking the right fruit and veggies for ourselves and, with the least chemicals or what we can shift the energy of. We'll douse to shift the energy of those products as well. Like I'll clear if there's any pesticides, if I can't get it organic. I know we all try when we can, but just trying to clear and balance the energy of what we're dealing with, of the environment that we're actually being placed in, and trying to keep clearing that so we can move forward.
Or should we buy this house or that house? Or does that car salesman have integrity? Or I should go somewhere else?
Do I date this guy? Do I date that guy? Sorry.
Everyone's letting out all their
Yeah, I think that's one of the favorite questions. And will I win the lottery? But possibly we're working on a few deeper problems than that. And also, I think the thing with the chemtrails, you often see people complaining about, oh, they keep doing it, they're poisoning us and all the rest of it. And I've seen there are a lot of people who are dissolving them by warming white vinegar. And that seems to have a, really positive effect, like put up a protection. But we've been also transmuting things, chemtrails, and also the effects on the soil, because of course, when the chemtrails actually come down, they haven't been transmuted. then there are all the different chemicals and metals and things in the soil which are affecting the land. And in
Oh,
fact,
sorry.
one of the things that I asked the group to do last time, and we'll be very interested. Anybody, you know, I don't know where you're all from, but you're probably from some different parts of the world. I saw that in England, they are spraying also where they grow crops. And it looks like it's part of their agenda, you know, the starvation agenda. And grass is dying. And so what we did, I actually contacted Raymond Grace and asked him. And he just sort of said, well, I don't know everything. Use your imagination. But try inviting the spirit of life back into the grass. So we did. And we also transmuted the poisons into fertilizer, which he did before on a field of alfalfa. So we're trying to do it for the whole world, but it really helps if people who are having problems with the spraying and having problems with the crops can actually say, oh, can you do it for our country or whatever? And then we've got like a request in from a native of that place. And also if anybody has, you know, is in England or around that's noticed this problem with the grass not growing, crops not growing properly and all this kind of thing, if they could give us any feedback, if they notice that things change or start, you know, growing again. Because there's no reason why they shouldn't. If Raymond Grace can do it, we can do it, you know. He's not like an extraterrestrial. And that's his whole point. Is that if I can do it, you can do it. You only just have to try. And I think that's the great thing about the group as well. We give it a go. Doesn't necessarily always work, maybe, but it seems to work most of the time and pretty well and really quickly. And often we get like almost instant feedback on things.
Mhm.
So, you know, that is also, we're doing a lot of esoteric work, many things. But, you know, that whatever, you know, when you hear Kim or Sunny saying, if it's going to be, it's up to me, that was really the thing that inspired me to look for people to work together to do the dowsing. Really, that if it's going to be, it's up to me. And we can't leave it only to Raymond Grace. There's plenty of us now that people have been learning to do dowsing. We'll have another workshop in a couple of weeks, and maybe we'll work again on the crops and all this kind of thing. So I think that is going to be a really, really important aspect of life for a lot of people in the world in the coming year or so.
I see
And,
Brett
you
has a
know,
question.
We're going to get to Brett. We're going to get to Brett. It's good. I just want to make sure everyone here has spoken. Yes, Kathleen.
I just have a suggestion for confidence building. When you start doing this, and anybody can do it, if you want to go back and look at some of the recorded instructions on the Dowsing channel, I love Tony's 6-point check to see if you're in the right frame of mind to do this. And, you know, that is important, because if you're not in the right frame of mind, you're going to get inaccurate results. But one of the things that I've learned that increases my confidence is if you picture in front of you a scale, like kind of like you're looking at a speedometer, but you're from 0 to 100. Okay, that's the scale, and you check in, like I did this morning, like what is the cleanliness of the water of the Gulf of Mexico by Galveston, where my friend was, and I came to like less than 30% cleanliness. And then after we spun, I asked again, and it was up to 70%. So, you know, that gives you an immediate feedback on what you're doing is effective. So, but go back, and I don't know which one it is, but if you're really interested in doing this, it wouldn't take long to go back through the trainings that especially the one where Tony is showing your 6-point check on whether you're in the right frame of mind to be doing this, whether you're going to get correct out, and also to ask, is it okay if I do this? You know, it's freedom of choice. If you know somebody that's suffering, I have a brother-in-law that just got diagnosed with, I guess they call it stage 9 prostate cancer.
Blimey.
And, yeah. So you ask your higher self, is it okay if we work on this? Sometimes you don't need to talk to the person, you just need to talk to their higher self. And then they will say, if that's that person's will for you to do that, then you can go ahead and do it. So that's all.
Yeah, and I'll add too, if you guys want to continue to do it on your own, start your own groups, make sure you run energy and protect yourselves. And you could do the check-ins like Tony teaches or that we all personally do. And if anybody else have a quick comment before I open it up for questions for the group.
Or maybe I could just say that if people want to go over the lessons that we did, the check-in thing is in the first lesson, I think you'll find. And I think we also pinned in the Dowsing group a file with a set of like instructions and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of information, pinned information on the Dowsing group channel. And if you're sort of late to the party, as it were, you can go and have a look. And we start like lesson 1 is like complete basics. And then we work our way gradually through up to when we all did the rain dance. So, anybody who wants to sort of catch up, then those videos are available on the channel, and you can go to the pinned messages. Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to mention as well the gathering of groups of people. So once you have your confidence and you have your authentic intentions of what you're wanting to do with your healing, coming together with others that are doing this, hold that same vibration and that same intention, it makes your healing vibration wave out much more powerfully than it does when you're on your own. You're still powerful on your own, but coming together as a group enhances that power. So I know that the shamans I learned from and the Mudgees would always say that 2 half circles do not make a relationship, 2 whole circles do. So as you're whole coming together with others, that will amplify and enhance your frequency. So coming together as a group as we do each week is something that we utilize to enhance and hopefully, healing that helps all of us. And when we put out an announcement on the Telegram chat to say, hi, we're doing a healing circle. If you're available, you'd like to join in. Your energy joining in with that circle, whether you're physically there or we're talking with you or not, is part of that enhancement. It's part of that collective power now. So if you've ever got an opportunity or a moment to actually sit down and meditate and do some dowsing in that same moment we are, or just connecting in with the announcement, because everything's quantum. It doesn't matter if it's happening on the exact same 3rd dimensional timeline or not. It's happening in the same moment everywhere. And you'll actually be a part of that collective healing. And then you can check in with any results that we post from that healing as well. So that's a real great way to practice and enhance your own confidence and your own wholeness in your own abilities.
Love that.
That was it.
I love that.
That was lovely.
If we dowsers are content, I'd like to open it up for questions. We had Brett Mozzie was on before, but Brett, if you'd like to come off mute and ask your question.
Hi,
Brett.
everybody. I am so glad to
Hi.
be here. I don't usually get to come because I'm always working, but I'm really glad. I didn't have any questions, but I had 2 testimonials, if you don't mind.
Brilliant.
The first is, because I have been dowsing and affirming in my house, I have some flower beds where I had daylilies. And last year they barely bloomed because I needed to separate them because I have too many in each space because they've been prolific over the years. And I thought this year I wasn't going to get any blooms. We had hardly had any rain, but I have blooms every day. I did not expect it. I'm still going to, separate them and move them once their growing season is over. But I have blooms every day, even though it's been 90 degrees, almost 100 degrees over the last week, they still bloom every day. And only thing I can attest to is the change in the energy, because I douse for my neighborhood, so that we have peace in our neighborhood, and that it's quiet, and that children can play on the street. And that's the first thing. The second thing is, the second part of my that's so wonderful is I have a friend, Marianne knows her, Fatau. She was sick a few months ago, and she called me. I was in the middle of the workday. I told everybody I got to go, I have to leave. So I went to her house. When I asked her what her pain level was, she told me her pain level was 12. It was scary. I didn't have my pendulum with me. I immediately went to her jewelry box. I found something. I made one of my own. And she always keeps her stuff energetically clean, so I never have to worry about it. But we douse for her healing, for our travel, for her attention at the hospital. By the time we left the house, she was able to walk down the steps to the car. On the way to the hospital, we had no traffic. We made every light. When we drove up to the hospital, there happened to be a security guard standing at the entrance. He immediately went and got a wheelchair for her. I thought we were going to be stuck in triage. They bypassed triage. They took her to ER. There were people who were sitting there who had been waiting for I don't know how long. A doctor came up to her and took her information, and within 10 minutes, she was in a room. All because it was amazing, amazing. And if nothing had ever been able to show me the power of this modality, that was it. That was it. I don't tell a lot of people because they still look at me with that side eye, but they look at me with the side eye.
Wow.
But I'm
That's
really, really
amazing.
happy
Brilliant.
to have had these experiences.
That's absolutely brilliant.
That is amazing, Brett. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank
Instant
you.
confirmation, actually seeing all the energies at work in present moment time. That is an amazing confirmation.
It was wonderful. It really was. And that might have seemed coincidental to some people, but I knew what we had done in that
Yeah.
time period. I knew what we had used. And, she's a wonderful intuitive, but she was so sick, she couldn't focus her energy herself. She couldn't do it
Yeah,
for
that's
herself.
right.
So I'm
That's
glad
where we
that
need the support of the collective. That's amazing.
Well done. That's fantastic.
Thanks,
And
Connie.
it's a really empowering experience to see, even having to utilize within their system, having to and clearing the pathway within their matrix.
Mhm.
There was no traffic. You're hitting every green light. There's someone there to meet you with a wheelchair to wheel her straight into exactly where she needs to be.
Yes, what could have taken hours it seemed like minutes. We left her house at like 2:00. By 3:00, she was in a room. And there were people, and the people who were sitting there, I wish I had it with me because I'd have doused for them too. But I didn't
Yeah.
have it. I didn't have it with me. I left it at her house, or I'd have sat there and doused for them too, so they could get the care that they needed. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't say anything. I didn't. And she said, wow, we did good work. I said, yes, we did. We did good work.
Oh, Brett,
Yeah,
thank you so
exactly.
much. That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's
Thank
I
you for
see.
sharing.
Yeah, I see Emma, you're here. I know Mazi was here too. Emma,
Yeah,
would you
she's
like to
still
come off
waiting.
mute? And just ask how Trudy and how the rains are in the Canary Islands, if you don't mind giving us a quick report. And I'll get Mazi next if you're still here. Mazi?
First, I just want to thank everybody for helping us so much. As I told the group last time I talked to you, on Fuerteventura it rains on average 5 days a year. So there's not much rain, and all the farmers are very complaining because the tap water is desalinated water and has lots of chemicals in it. So it's really hard for the farmers to grow things. They have systems where they collect rainwater when it rains, but when it doesn't rain, there is no potatoes, there is no carrots, there is nothing to buy. So since you did the dowsing, 2 days later, it did rain. And since then, it's been cloudy. It's been very cloudy. And it's been much colder at night, which means that the temperature between the day and the night produces a lot of moisture. So even in my own garden, everything gets bigger. Like the strawberries are bigger, all the fruits are bigger, more green leaves on everything. So thank you so much. It has worked. It has not rained so much, but it's the summer season, so it really helped. And I hope we can continue doing this, because I mean, the story behind Fuerteventura is that the Spanish people came and took over the island, cut down every tree to build boats. There's nothing. It's just like desert. So we need to get our island back. Absolutely. And step by step, we're taking it back. So I told a lot of people about this, and people are really like, let us know next time, we will join in. So yeah, there's a big support for it. Some people are shocked when I ask for rain, but most people are very supportive.
That's beautiful.
So that was the first thing. The second thing is Trudy, that a friend brought her here, and what we saw when we met her is that this lady is very sick. And it was a little bit of a panic, because what if something happens when she's here visiting us, trying to get some help? So what you did was exactly what she needed. You gave her an opportunity, like a window, and you sort of pushed her in the right direction. And now she has accepted help from the hospital. She did have a scan, and she has cancer all over her body. It was spread everywhere, bone marrow, skeleton, every organ in the body. And she has accepted immune therapy, which she would not accept before she came here. And she's also doing hyperbaric chambers with oxygen and IV vitamin C. And her energy is coming back. Obviously, we don't know how this journey will end, but she's very positive, and she's getting a lot of help. So thank you for pushing her in the right direction. Otherwise, she might not have been here anymore. Yeah. So she calls you the ladies. I have support from the ladies, is what she said, and she was so grateful. So she said, if you talk to any one of them, send my love. And she is a big influencer in Norway. She was a world champion in her sports arena. So I'll tell you more later when.
That's great.
So
I love that.
thank you.
That's amazing. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I want to give Mozzie.
Yeah, so glad she's doing great with her treatment.
Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And also the person who said she will accept conventional and alternative medicine. When she had made that decision, I told her that the group had mentioned it, and he said, I felt it. I felt felt pushed to go in that direction. So yeah, it was correct.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We love that. Mozzie, if you want to come on and you're still here and ask your question, you've been very patient. We tend to do the interview first and the questions last. Mozzie, would you like to come off mute and speak if you're here?
All right, good evening.
Hi, Mozzie.
Good evening.
All right, okay, this is Mazi Uchenno Benepa. I'm from Igbo tribe. Igbo tribe is in Nigeria. The Igbo means the ancient. That is a part of the continent of the world that I'm coming from. And I'm very happy on what is going on this restoration, that humanity is coming back to themselves, and very, very massive self-realization that is going on in this part of our continent. It's making me so happy, and it really showing me that indeed the healing is going on. Is going on onto this earth the humanity is receiving healing. This is the moment we have been waiting for. We have been preaching it. We have been giving it as a teaching and a message. And we are beginning to see them coming to pass. I am very happy for the testimonies that I've been hearing from this platform today. That indeed this is a global awakening. This is a global returning. Humanity is returning back to themselves. We are going to once again become responsible. We will feed ourselves. We heal ourselves. We will not depend in anybody to heal us anymore. We will not depend in anybody to feed us anymore. Rather, we depend ourselves. We heal ourselves. We feed ourselves. That is a freedom that we'll never have before. That is coming to us now. I am very happy. I'm very sorry for not being present on the meeting. So that is why, I am a farmer. I'm also a healer. I use herb roots and herbs, and also we also teach through spiritual clean of the consciousness. So we have been engaged, too much engaged. More especially, right now we are farming. We are farming now. We are planting seed currently now. So that is what makes me have not be able to showing up on the meeting. This is why. But my soul and my spirit and my wholeness is always in this great movement, great restoration, great gathering of the new souls, great gathering of the workers of the light. We are the ambassador of the light who are bringing the new dawn, the new system, the light system into the existence of this universe. I am very happy. I am very, very happy. And I also commending all our brothers and sisters who have been making this light to stand and never allow this platform or the light to quench, no matter the trials. We really understand the clear message that we have come to deliver. I am very happy. Thank you very much. I don't have any question to ask. I am just being happy to experience myself and send my gratitude to my beloved ones. Thank you very much for giving me this audience.
Thank you, Mazi.
Mazi, can I ask a question? Mazi, you said you're a farmer in Nigeria.
Yes. Yes.
Do you use dowsing or energy work to improve your crops or to help you if there is problem with the soil or something?
No. I don't use, what I use now is organic. I only use organic things to do. I don't use any other thing.
And do your crops grow well, or do you have problems with the soil?
I'm having some challenges, but they are growing. They are growing. They are doing. I believe that with time, the things will be normal. But we are having some challenges.
Would you like us? We meet on Wednesday. Would you like us to do some energy work on your fields to make your crops grow better?
Okay, that would be very, very fantastic, and
then
very,
if
very
that
lovely.
happens, can you get back in touch with us on the chat or something and tell us if you notice a difference?
I will. Of course, I will.
Okay, so what kind of crops are you growing?
Right now, I am planting maize, and we are going to plant rice at the same time, and we also have to plant granules and beans. That is what we are having at hand now, and soya beans and pepper. So all these things, we have a place where we put them down, and we are going to do them all. And cassava as well.
do you have enough water for all these plants?
Is that it? Come again?
Do you have enough water for the plants? Do you have regular rain or
Yes,
some source of
it's
water?
raining. It's raining. It's raining here. It's raining abundantly here.
Ah, right. Okay. Okay. Well, on Wednesday, then we'll do some work on some energy work to see if we can make sure that you get the best possibility for your crops. And if
Can
that
I just
works,
ask,
mm,
what are the
please.
challenges that he's facing? What are the challenges that you have, Marzi, with growing your crops?
Anyway, the challenges I am having now is that is work. The work that is normal challenges we are having in the farming. You know,
So it's getting it completed, everything planted,
exactly.
ready
That
to
is all.
go. Okay,
That is
beautiful. We can help clear energies, you know what I mean, that will synchronize
that
and bring everything together to complete that with you.
exactly. That is
Beautiful. Thank
The
you.
point is that if we do this, well, we will do it. And when you see how much easier it is or was that you than you expected or than what you've done before, then you know that also you and your other fellow farmers and workers can also use a system like this, learn how to do it and use it for yourself in the future to adjust any problems with your crops or with anything else, with pests, with fertilizing and all that kind of thing. So we
okay.
can use it as a sort of experimental project, if you like, and then if it all goes well, that's you know what to do in the future.
Exactly.
Okay, good, excellent. We'll be working on it.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you for that. I'm
You're
glad.
welcome. You're welcome.
Are there any other questions?
Were you not expecting Kelly to have some questions for us?
Kelly, feel free to come on. I know he's busy with family.
All right.
If anyone else, any dowsers would like to come on for some final comments, just come off mute, feel free. Anybody?
Well, all I was going to say, we've also used the dowsing for the 5G to scramble the energies around the 5Gs as well, you know, so that people don't feel the effects of it, you know, and they feel a more healthier energy, if you like.
Yeah, but protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We've done it for that too. We've probably covered quite a lot of things over time. It's just you get so used to doing it, you do it, you move on, and then something else comes up and you move on.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything that we can't help heal, clear, balance with dowsing, with any energy work, but dowsing is such a whole process. You know, it fits in with every single other module as well. So it gives us a really good space to be able to focus our intention, which is healing specific situations or healing collectively. And then everyone's energy together with the same authentic intentions and that same authenticity as well. You know, we're already doing our own healing work in our own lives, you know, professionally and personally, and then to come together to bring that every single, you know, every 7 days really is boom, here's another bout of some collective energy, you know, counteracting the disruption and distortion of the old ways or the old matrix. So it's such a vast, powerful experience. So I really suggest anyone that whenever you've got the time, just start on yourself, start in your own life. It's all going to connect and be a part of it as well. You know, the more we personally clear in our own little path, all the paths get cleared. It's going to quicken everything up, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, some people have said over time, also in the Dowsing channel comments, that they've had difficulty, doing dowsing or getting the right answers and that kind of thing. And I had one person who was saying that, didn't get the right answers to a couple of questions. And it turned out that they'd had a bereavement. And so obviously they weren't in a nicely centered space when they were asking the questions. So it also makes a big difference if you do your due diligence, if you like, which is your protection and your earthing and being completely grounded before you try to do any dowsing. And so, and other people have said that they can't do it, or it doesn't work very well, or something like that. Now, I saw something on a YouTube video the other day, which was fantastic. And the guy had never done dowsing. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this, actually. Probably it's too white. Oh, yeah, you can see it. If you can see, can you see here? There's a spiral. And
We
then
can see it, yes.
there's one going the other way. And then we've got a vertical line and a horizontal line. And what this guy did was he said to the guy who'd never done dowsing before, he had a plumb line, that builders use to straighten walls and things. He said, draw a spiral in a clockwise direction, draw a spiral in an anti-clockwise direction, draw a line up and draw a line across. And that's what the guy did. So he said, right, now hold the line above the spiral with the clockwise direction. And at first he held it and nothing happened. So the guy said, move it a little nearer to the page. So he moved it a little nearer to the page and it followed the line of the spiral. And this guy had never picked up a pendulum in his life, and it started moving. So then he said, now go over to the other one, and it started going anti-clockwise. So then he put it at the bottom of the line, and it started going up and down, up and down. And then he went to the horizontal line, and it started going from left to right, left to right. Now, he had never done any dowsing at all in his life. So this little scheme that I wrote down as I was listening to this, I thought, well, this is brilliant. Anybody that's been having problems with getting things started or something, this is like an exercise that you can do every day to sort of like you would go to the gym to build up your muscles or something. If you feel that you're not really getting in contact with your pendulum, you can use this kind of exercise as a little sort of drill that you can do every day to strengthen your connection with your pendulum and to get you moving. So I thought that was one that we didn't have access to when we started right from the beginning. But as some people have said, they sometimes have trouble getting connected. This would be a good thing for them to try. So probably the next time we have a class, I'll do a better chart with thicker lines so that people can see it, or do a photo and put it on the dowsing chat. So that's the end of that.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? To get really metaphysically woo for a minute, that lets you know the pendulum's moving according to that written energy. But what does that tell us about what we think and say and write on paper? What kind of energy are we creating? What kind of sacred geometry and space are we creating? So that's
exactly.
It's like a big woe to me. I mean, I do pay attention to that. But if you want to do energy audits for yourself, watch what you write, say, and think, because you're starting energy. Oh,
Exactly.
Ooh.
Hey,
Okay.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for. I'm just in the background here today. I'm multitasking, but I'm also taking in everything you say, and really appreciate the energy and how great it is to see a community that wants to help others, no matter who and where we are. So I've had a lot of great healing from dowsing, and people using different charts and things like that as well, like with the halo system and all of that, And of course, Liz spends for me too as well, and really appreciated that. So yeah, it's been great listening to you all, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And I've got some more things I'm going to do here, but I'm keeping you on and listening in my headset. So take care.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you,
Yes,
Kelly.
thank you.
I'm ready to turn off the recording unless someone has some final comments. We've gone a little past the hour. If that's all right, I'll stop the recording.
Yeah.
And people can stay on and chat if you want, or you can head on.